Hey guys, welcome back to another serving of food for thought. Of course, not everything in the reading will resonate for you, but I encourage you to take what does and leave the rest. However, if this resonates or you just so happen to like the reading, let me know by commenting down below or liking this video. So let's jump right into the energy here, Holy Spirit. What are the cards here that represent the energy, the light, the message? So there seems to be a deck here. Depth, misunderstanding, stability. Wow, commitment, intimacy. So someone is feeling like there's a lack of closeness with you, intimacy. The tension is there when it comes to security, something being stable with you. Almost feeling like they haven't heard from you or they were expecting some type of reaction that they just didn't get. This is someone who is realizing the depth within the relationship isn't the same. They want you to feel like something is a misunderstanding. But in so many ways, you just might be dealing with a lost soul. This is someone who is lacking in awareness and depth, importance, knowing something should be more seriously taken. But this energy is not in a space to really admit that they should have taken you seriously. Bottom of the deck energy here is the Most High, Spirit, protecting you. This is a certain type of comfort here where there's a lack of depth. There will be peace, harmony, balance, but someone's going to have to learn the hard way here. I also see purifying. You could be cleansing your energy or trying to heal as best as you can, yet you're exhausted, conflicted, about something that is unspoken, because there is no confession. Someone needs to speak up, speak loudly about something, and they're not saying a word. Even though there's a lot of regrets, especially on their end, they have a loss for words, which I feel many of you have some type of feeling about. You feel some type of way about them not being capable of giving what is needed. In fact, there's a lot of tension, stress. Someone is thinking about how they started something where there should have just been love, respect. Now they're wanting some type of divine intervention where something miraculously gets put back together. But there's distance due to the lack of truth, honesty, intention, and clarity. I feel this is someone who is experiencing some upheavals, emotional distress. Things are somewhat like a whirlpool because of the distance. But there is some type of distance because you're focused on other things or you're in a space of healing, because there are barriers within this separation. There's space here. Even if this is someone you haven't spoken to in a while, they know they owe you so much more than what was given. Somewhat of an apology, change behavior. But something is frozen. There's silence, stillness. There's no words. And for some of you, there's no words because there's not a lot that you want to say. This is someone who is needing to speak loudly about something that was done. Someone should have spoken to you long ago about this, but this energy has been too prideful to give what was needed. Let's get some more energy here, Holy Spirit. Time. Someone had so much time to make something right with you, but they made you wait. I feel this is someone who also thought that you would chase, or this is someone who is just roaming wild now that you have become a free spirit, or something is out of reach, out of touch. This energy is thinking about the time that was wasted, but they can't do anything about it because they feel they're not ready to bring in that truth. This is why there's so much stress and tension, turbulence when it comes to this energy. There's a lot of unexpected energy when it comes to mine, when it comes to this energy. It's almost like someone wasn't prepared. Let's get a little bit more energy here. Heart fog. Someone is wanting to blame something or someone. They're not wanting to be accountable for their careless actions. But this energy does still think of you in a fun way. There's a lot of affection, adoration. Somewhat compulsive when it comes to you, but it's your boundaries. It's your boundaries that really put this energy in a space where they're not wanting to think about it because they're not ready to change. You're coming out as a nourishing energy. There's growth with you. Yeah, this energy is apprehensive, still stuck in some type of illusion, yet still admires you. They just don't want to be rejected. But in so many ways, I feel like they just pushed you to your limit. Someone's done a lot. Not just what has happened in the past or at the end of things. This is what they're in despair about because they know something is drifting, yet they keep on pretending. This energy pretends not to understand, and there's also some type of confusion when it comes to their curiosity. Someone's wanting you to be receptive, yet they're still superficial, shallow. This confusion about what's going on, what's happened, even about you at this point, at this time, they're still hoping that you haven't let go. For some of you, you are in a situation where you had to make choices for self, and they feel like you're avoiding them, when truthfully, they're just dealing with their consequences. This is someone who was elusive and sidetracked by influences. This is why they're judging or even holding some type of resentment, whether it's against you or these losses that they had to take. There's a lot of pain and grief because they couldn't mirror the same energy that was given. This is someone who wants a second chance, but when it comes to the depth, how they're able to understand and receive and even give is somewhat low vibrational. This is why they sit in a space of resentment, not wanting to be judged, but still giving in to third parties or influences. This energy stays elusive and dishonest because they're sidetracked. And this is what's created these delays, changes, distractions, which only brought in consequences. This energy feels like you have blocked them out, or they feel you've blocked them from communicating with you. They feel like you're pushing them away, and this is what's making them more curious about you. I feel there's a lot of confusion, but for many of you, I feel like you just don't understand why they're so confused. But it's almost another reason for them to be apprehensive about what they should say or not say around you. This energy is affected by the boundaries here because they feel like you have drawn a line and it's going to be hard to put you back in some type of confusion, illusion, because they are unbalanced, especially when it comes to their emotions. And this is why there's some type of heart fog, still not using their intuition. This is why there is tension and something is completely frozen. One more card here from this deck. I'll take those two. Let's see what we have here. Despair. Someone feels like something is falling apart because you have drifted away. There's silence. This energy feels like they're stuck in some type of emotional whirlwind, not really knowing how to deal with how they're affected, but still not wanting to show it. There's a great sense of disappointment when it comes to this energy. Many of you have done all you truly can. It seems like to me, there's a lot of changes when it comes to relationships and stability that has you more focused on other things than usual. But it's also stirring the pot. It's causing someone to become a little frustrated. I feel like there are energies here, not just this person, but also others who are kind of frustrated that they have little to no access to you. It's almost like the closer you get to your healing or a place of peace, some type of recovery, There are obstacles, tests that you can't explain, while others are wrapped up in a false sense of self, trying to soothe a pain that can only be soothed with intention. This energy thinks about a second chance all the time, making amends, but still not wanting to put in the work, still not understanding that they're going to have to put in way more effort than they have lately. Yeah, you're building. You're taking aim, breaking free from things that are broken or things that you clearly don't understand, especially since you have moved in a way of intention. I feel like the masks are falling off and someone is thinking about the potential in the situation because they still watch, wonder when it comes to you. However, when it comes to these energy cords, many of you are dealing with some old wounds, or this could be their energy as well. This is why you have taken aim at other things. Some things are just more important right now. But when it comes to the energy cords, there's an overflow of emotion. However, there is a divine intervention here when it comes to unspoken things, things that are unspoken in love, or even the fact that someone knows they dealt you a bad hand. Someone didn't give with intention, not like you did. Now there is old wounds to attend to, and they're not ready for it. And this is why they hide and pretend, just to keep from dealing with all the pain, resentment, regret. For many of you, it's truly game over. There's no more games to play. Now that you have found a new sense of self or even a perspective or a new frequency, the betrayal, it hits a little different. When it comes to this energy, I feel like there are mixed signals. This energy sees themselves as your twin flame. But it's almost like a losing battle when it comes to someone who is stuck in a cycle of doing the same thing all over again. Like I said in the beginning, when it comes to this person's curiosity about what went wrong or their curiosity about you, many of you just don't get it. You don't truly understand why they are so confused. Wow. I feel like this is a curiosity about you that you don't take it serious. This person is kind of gaslighting you, trying to focus on one thing so that you don't see what is obvious. Because you've been more than generous, more than fair here. You've been more than fair to those who pretend they don't understand, as they have taken your silence or even your absence from them very personal, not realizing your actions or the lack thereof doesn't revolve around hurting or offending them. They're just taking things to offense because they're not having their way. Like I said before, it's like a losing battle. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. This is why there's a lot of emotions here, and it was unexpected. I feel you didn't expect this energy to be so toxic. I mean, you knew they could be low vibrational sometimes, but you never thought that they would take things this far. Now there's a lot of regrets. However, I feel many of you were divinely guided here to take another path. Be the bigger person, even though it was hard to give in to some ways or even their absence, separation. There's a lot of things that changed in so little time. But I feel you were divinely guided to take this path to discover some things, not just about you, but about people and how they can switch up or how people can be in general. Many of you had to take some real time to release because you're clearly exhausted. Not just by those who betray your trust, but also the ways of the world. Things that come your way that are unseen factors. Now someone is in their feelings about you becoming the mysterious one. They don't know much about what's going on in your life right now, but this energy is wanting to investigate, know more, receive more. But many of you have already slipped away, or you're in the process of doing so. You have a lot of potential here. And I feel this is another reason why you were put on another path, because this energy was distracting your true light. For some of you, this energy was so toxic, they may have dimmed that light. This is where you're in the process of maintaining, healing, tending to these old wounds. I feel you were divinely guided to do so. I feel there's a lot of things that are unspoken here, but whoever this is watching you or wanting you, they're dealing with a lot of things right now. This is why they're reflecting on you. A lot of you are wondering why they're even thinking of you at this point, but I feel like they'll never forget you. Not in any way, because of what they hold on to that they have yet to heal or even acknowledge yet. It's someone who has a long way to go. I feel many of you are just not interested in this person going round and round with you. For some of you, you're not avoiding them. You're just in your own lane, figuring things out. But in due time, there will be some type of intervention, conversation, or a clear closure for you. Someone's thinking about your nurturing ways, your generosity, how you were capable of pushing through regardless of what they've done. Yeah. Someone's right now dealing with their dark side, the gossip, the rumors, the back and forth. This energy could also be going back and forth with someone else. I feel someone is calling them a fool. They don't like that. Someone knows that this energy lost a real one, and they know this. Deep down they do, but this is someone who pretends that actual things are not this as what they sing. This is like a fantasy, or they're stuck in their head, stuck in some type of illusion. Reality just ain't real. Yeah. And they also thought that you would just get it. As I said before, they do see you as a twin flame, and they feel like regardless if they say something or not, you should just know. But I feel that is just not your responsibility, and this is why you are on another path, especially when it comes to dealing with the fool. This is someone who makes foolish choices, and they're haunted by a separation with you, and this is why they're in a space of obsessing or even missing you, because you have left a permanent stain that won't easily go away. This is why they're guarded. They feel like you're just being cold for no reason. But as I said before, what you're doing right now, whatever they're feeling in response of it, that is just not, you're not trying to affect them. I mean, you don't get up every day trying to figure that out. I feel they're just offended because they're not getting what they thought they deserved. Wow. It's too much resistance. Yeah, it's game over for this energy who is sitting in a space where there's so many mixed emotions and feelings. Wow. It's almost like a checkmate in some way. Because you do hold the blueprint. The blueprint to the unknown. But as I said before, something is brewing. This energy is trying to come up with something. They're not wanting to be direct with you. So it's the usual. They're playing games, being strategic, trying to manipulate something to go their way. But that's where they're going to go wrong with you. It just won't work. Someone's wanting to make some type of gesture or put some type of plan in place where you just kind of bump into each other. But justice is here. The scales are being balanced here. And for others, you have cleared this away. Especially if they are only going to come back with the same energy. This is someone who wants a breakthrough or resurrect something with you. Yeah, they're plotting. It's plotting and planning. It's only going to cause something to be more toxic. there's an awakening here when it comes to an ending to someone's temptations. Something's being uprooted. As I said before, you're exhausted with this situation, and something connected to unforeseen factors is going to show someone how karma really works. There's a lot of grief here. Someone could be listening to music, trying to tap out, tap in. Wow. Someone's trying to manifest big when it comes to you, while you have already taken your leap of faith. You're in solitude. In solitude while the scales are being balanced. Someone is wanting to resurrect something but not wanting to do the work. This is someone who's putting more work into trying to manipulate something when they should just come in with facts, truth, expose themselves. But many of you already feel you have that divine truth. Wow. You know enough, you don't need to know anymore. Wow. But someone's being awakened when it comes to this ending. The temptation, all that they thought they were getting away with, it's gonna hit them where it hurts. This is why I say someone playing this game is only a checkmate. In so many ways, I feel like your reason for being and doing what you're currently doing has no real attachment to them, but someone's taking something personal. It's the little things that they are offended by, especially when it comes to you. But as I said before, it's a checkmate in so many ways. Because truthfully, you're the reason. Someone has no choice but to accept their fate and even the truth. Because the only way to correct or resolve this, someone's going to have to be real with you and themselves. There was so much potential when it comes to this situation, but now that you were even pushed to make this leap of faith, many of you had no real desire to disconnect until you saw the real in them. Wow. This energy wants to give a gesture or manipulate something to have some type of breakthrough with you. This is why something is brewing. But I also get the sense that they want to go back and forth about something. Not really talking about the elephant in the room, but really dancing around it. This is why someone is in their head about something being over, especially when it comes to this separation. But this energy has given you so many mixed emotions and feelings, signals to truly respect some type of resurrection. This is someone who needs to do a lot of things before coming your way or clearing the air. But as I said before, you're clearly dealing with a fool, especially when it comes to choices. But if they don't find a way to make this right, it will haunt them. Maybe for even this lifetime and even the next. Final card here from this deck. Yeah, there's some gossip rumors going around. This could also be attached to their roots. There could be family talking about this situation. Wow, how someone's a fool for losing you, disrespecting you, causing some type of imbalance with you. There's a lot of things being said here. I sense someone is in the midst of understanding what a true loss really is. Because they were invested in the wrong things, the wrong people. Wow. To even truly get this second chance, not in the energy that they're in right now. Wow. This energy is learning what a loss really feels like because they're truly invested in the idea of you being a fool for shutting them out or trying to make them change. Wow. I feel you didn't want this energy to be anything but themselves, but once they started to reveal this darker side of self, you didn't want anything to do with it. This is why someone is trying to paint you as someone who is vengeful or even spiteful. This is why they are hoping to put something together to get you to say something, look their way, make a phone call, push you to do something, even expecting you to push back or lash out when you're not even tapped into that type of energy or even invested in the way they think you are. Let's get another deck out here. We're going to tap into a tarot deck here. I know you guys are used to me doing Oracle, but the tarot deck usually goes a little deeper after going into Oracle. Empress energy, yeah, you're trying to get your shit together. Seven of Swords energy, you have cleared away a lot of things that no longer serve you. Seven of Wands energy, you're standing up for what you believe. This is someone who wants you to kind of conform and just believe what they say. But this energy hasn't put the work in, and you know it. This is why this energy is agitated by you, because they know you can see right through. Queen of Swords, yeah, you're clearing away things that no longer serve you. You're very self-sufficient. You can do it with or without. Three of Wands energy. I feel like you were waiting for results. You were waiting for some change. You gave them chances. As I said before, you were more than fair. Wow. But someone didn't put in the work. Now there's a sense of regret now that you are in a space of recovery, solitude, renewal. Wow. Empress energy. Someone knows that you were worth the truth, but they were just not ready to give it to you. This is someone who is keeping their distance because they haven't been honest when talking to you or about you. And they regret putting you in this space to feel the way you do about them, or even protect your energy from them. Nine of Wands energy here. You're standing your ground, and someone is just not used to you being that way. You're protecting yourself in a very big way. Wow. This could also be you making it clear that you have taken as much as you're gonna take. Wow. This energy is somewhat resentful because of it. Wow. Putting you in the energy of the Queen of Swords. Empress energy. Nine of Wands, protecting what you know is true. We also have the Six of Swords. This is a lot of clearing away, and I feel it's also attached to all the changes that have happened, because all these changes has put this energy in the Five of Cups. There's a lot of emotion attached to the Five of Cups, and this is loss, regret, grief, feeling like you abandoned them when it just might be the other way around. For many of you, you had to let them go. This is why they're feeling the pressure. They never thought that you would. Yeah, never give up on the love. So I feel this energy is going through a lot of regret now that you're standing your ground, making something clear, especially when it comes to your boundaries and the fact that you have taken all that you're willing to take, especially when they thought that you would always give in or choose love with them. Yeah, you've already been generous. Generous here with the Six of Pentacles. You know, they're coming out as the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel you were very patient with this energy. Yet they caused a Tower moment. Forced some type of upheaval, change. There's a poor foundation with dealing with this energy because they were not giving all that they could give. Yet there is some type of realization, a sudden realization. Now there's some type of rebirth, transformation, change that they can't manipulate. But it's not keeping them from trying. Next to you cutting cords, there is also Empress energy of someone understanding that whether you're male or female, you're going to stand up for self no matter what. Because now they're going through judgment. Eight of Swords energy here, self-imposed conflict, problems. This person brought this on themselves. Two of Swords energy, yeah. There's a lot of swords here. And this is letting me know this is someone who refused to make an honest choice. Wow. Refused to make a decision. could not stand in their own power, in their own grace, allowing others to put a key in their bag. This is what caused an ending, a harsh and painful ending, especially when it comes to this Tower moment. Seven of Pentacles energy. This is someone who didn't do the work. Came out in reverse. Six of Pentacles energy here. You try. You do your best. And this is why things are working in your favor. This is someone who is just not putting in the work. Regretting the fact that they put you in a space where you would rather clear your space to find some peace. Yeah. King of Swords energy here. Page of Pentacles. This is someone who is coming out as a poor communicator, or someone who doesn't play well with others. There's no teamwork when it comes to this energy, who is trying to manifest, but there's a lack of progress, procrastination. This is someone who seems to only learn from their failures, their mistakes. Justice is coming out. So we've all already had the justice, or someone trying to justify something. This is why they're all in their feelings, because whatever they did, it just didn't work. Knight of Swords energy here. Something changed within their lifestyle. Someone's receiving karma here with the Justice card. Nine of Swords energy here. They're up at night thinking about it. This is nightmares, anxiety, grief, depression. All in their head about something that they can't easily change. Because of what they're not willing to do. I feel like this is someone who's put in a space where they're going to realize they should have never tried to justify their behaviors towards you, because it only made things worse by using distance and silence to try to manipulate a situation or even affect you. Yet I sense their silence and betrayal only cause more trust issues, distance, and regret that seem to have broken down this connection with every lie and disappointment they gave. Yet I sense out of all the things they did, I feel it's not what they did, it's how they chose to do it. The games they played was an unwise choice. I feel like for some of you, turning their back, not understanding you on a deeper level, or just the loss of trust became a real big issue. They're finding it hard to recover from that. This is why they sit in this Five of Cups energy, Hangman energy. This person is gonna have to do a lot of sacrifice. This energy thought that something would only be temporary, especially when it comes to this Two of Cups energy. But here with the Four of Cups, I feel many of you are not allowing them to penetrate in the way that they have before. Knight of Swords energy, something had to change. This is why their lifestyle has been affected, because many of you have chosen to go into karma waters, or just simply move on. Here's the Nine of Wands energy. Someone just didn't expect you to stand your ground. Seven of Swords. They feel like you're being strategic, but I feel it's just you not wanting to put up with the lies. For many of you, I believe sometimes you feel you never truly knew them, not after all they pulled, or even how they felt about you. But I feel neither of you did until you were no longer an option. Now they must make an active choice or decision, while also admitting and acknowledging the behaviors that pushed you to accept the change or accept this new path or journey, or even accept that they may never change. We're going to get one more card here, Tarot deck. Holy Spirit, what is the message here? Out of the Four of Cups. Yeah, someone's trying to make something out of nothing. Someone's trying to make it make sense after they know what they've done makes no sense at all. Yeah. Here with the Magician card, someone is trying to create something plotting or trying to be strategic about something with you when it's all so simple. They're just doing too much or complaining that you are, when in fact you have given so many chances and tried to understand their perspective. It just makes no sense to you either. Grab another deck here. I believe this is someone who pushed you way too far. They pushed you to your limits by not taking you serious or even life, leaving you burnt out and feeling unappreciated. I feel this is someone who put you in a place that you never thought that you would be, because they continue to fail, lose, make small things a big deal, and of course make things harder than it should have been. Like, since you were loving and loyal, yet what took place between the two of you, it just went too far. And you had to watch them carelessly lose you, causing you to be out of sight, but never out of mind. Narcissist liar. Wow, this is going to be a heated deck. So for some of you, you realize this energy could be bipolar. Please take it how it resonates. Reverse the roles if necessary, but I do feel like this energy is projecting their own pain. For some of you, this energy is coming out as a cheater. This is why you're in the Seven of Wands energy, protecting your mental, your peace, your space, your health, your wealth. For many of you, this energy has just lied too many times, been fake too many times, dishonest too many times. Whether they were cheating with a third party, they cheated you in life. This is why in the beginning of the reading, this energy dealt you a bad hand and played with the energy that was given. This is why someone's going through a heavy load of karma. This is why you had to purify your energy. Now someone is anxious because they know they were shallow and materialistic, surface level when it comes to loving and being loved. I feel this is someone who is defensive just to cope with unwanted emotions and feelings, desires, yet always giving in to the temptations. This is what has them uneasy, because they know they took you for granted, sabotaged everything, procrastinating. Their own negative thoughts got in the way. This is someone who sabotaged something, knowing they should have clung to you, understood you. They're still holding on. Self-loathing energy of someone who is non-committal and antisocial, especially when it comes to tradition. For some of you, you feel like they completely stabbed you in the back. Wow. For many of you, this is someone who knows they took things too far. This energy avoids you because they don't know what to say or even how to say it, especially in a way that you would respect it, understand it, believe it. And others, they can't stand the fact that you see straight through the bullshit, the lies, the deception. I feel this energy is not only ashamed, but worried. Worried that they took things in a whole nother space, took things to a whole nother level this time, and they can't undo something so easily. Would you believe them? Would you even care at this point? I feel this energy has a deep concern about something major, something they know they should have resolved by now. So I sense they pretend to have no worries, no feelings about it, no regrets attached to it. But I feel that that is clearly not the truth, because they are up at night frequently thinking about it, because what they have done is just full of consequences and regret. This energy will regret not showing you the truth, not giving you the respect, blaming you for the downfall of something, or creating losses where there should have been wins with you. Because it seems to me, wherever they are, there's still a lot of problems with them and so much more around them. because they're learning the hard way. There's nowhere to hide from self. For some of you, these mood swings that they have of missing you and hating you at the same time, this is connected to the rage, or even the fact that they could be a little bipolar. Lonely, isolated, even when they're around others. This is why someone is trying to manifest and be some type of magician. Make something work when they have not put in the work. For some of you, you feel like this energy is childish, dramatic, unreal, especially when it comes to affairs of the heart. This energy is very immature, irrational, not being logical about emotions, yet still sensitive to unhealthy habits, being dismissive when it comes to their regrets. This energy is an overthinker and very irrational when it comes to what they know they've done to others, but it's kind of attached to this misplaced unrest, resentment, rage. This energy is very unpredictable right now in this lonely phase. This energy is really blaming you, taking something personal about something you did or something you said or didn't do. I feel this energy is overthinking something because they are upset with the fact that they know they're still attached in some way. After all this time, after the third parties, they are sitting in some type of judgmental or fearful, guilty phase. For some of you, they are still attached, but not liking the fact that you can see that they are inadequate, lacking in some type of way. Something could be unsafe when it comes to their energy, depressed, wanting you to trust again, yet you know they're selfish. Will use someone else as a sacrifice, a scapegoat. They're worried about the judgment because they don't want to deal with the shame, the humiliation, the regret. They know they're toxic. Someone knows they're toxic and can pull a rabbit out of a hat, but this is why you're not willing to deal with the manipulation. The fact that they are always offensive or rude, disrespectful when they shouldn't be. You're not going to argue with them. This is why someone's in a space of indecision, because they don't want to deal with their phobias, their fears. Always justifying heartless ways of doing things, being brutal, harsh, unloving. This is someone who sits in superficial, surface level ways, being shallow and empty because they know they are disrespectful. And for some of you, borderline abusive. This is someone who is on a defense because they don't want to be in a space of dealing with the guilt, the misconduct, the dishonor, the regret. This is someone who is fixated on being in some space of denial, but this is someone who is knocking on the doors of their own space of being humbled and realizing how they just allowed you to slip away. Someone's needing to come out of this indecisive zone because it will leave them trapped. Someone feels like they can seduce you in some way, get you to do their bidding or fall for the things that they say. They're just trying to come up with some type of crafty way to do it. I don't know what they're plotting, but this is someone who feels like they can have their way, get their way, if they just put their mind to it. But as I said before, it's all so simple. And they're just making it harder to believe in them or trust them at this point. I want to get one more card here from this deck. We're going to move on. Yeah. This is someone who is discriminating, borderline abusive, bully activity here, sitting in a very surface level, materialistic way of being. This is why they're uneasy, because they're in a state of lack. Things are definitely not the same. And they're trying to find a way to deal with it. It's connected to this rage and bipolar energy here. Their emotional waves are up and down, highs and lows. This is someone who is not capable of dealing with stresses that they bring or even give others. They're just on the defense, trying to cope. Unwanted emotions taps into these mood swings because they fluctuate. This is someone who's very consistent, and this is why you can't believe a word they say. You try. You try to give them a benefit of the doubt, but it's just like, come on. You can do better than that. Jezebel energy here. So someone feels like if you call them out, they can say some things about you, but they haven't done their research. You're on a different level. Some of you are planning to travel or move or whatever the case is. Someone who is feeling like they need to do some research about you, not realizing how tired you really are. Tired of the antics, the deception, the emotional wave here with the water energy. This could be emotional waves or even water energy of someone who is wearing a mask. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy here. But due to deception, there are so many lessons to learn. Someone's learning lessons when it comes to deception, abuse, and manipulation. This is why someone is blocked from your energy, whether that is intentional or not. The universe is intentionally blocking them from you. This is creating balance from a fraud. This is creating balance so they can finally deal with their karma. Because trusting them is not easy. This is why things are left up in the air here. This air energy here could also represent Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Please take it how it resonates with your message. You could also be dealing with the same sign as yours. But whatever the case, things are out of control. Someone has no control. Someone knows that they can't control you. Wow. They don't like feeling lonely, blocked. They know they deceive something with you, play too many games when it comes to you. And this is why it's hard to get rid of the mask. Someone feels like they've gone this far. How can they turn back now when it comes to love? You were the abundance. They just don't know if you'll say yes. Someone's worried about the wrong thing here. Someone's worried about the wrong thing when it comes to what should have been, what could have been. Mask off. Someone needs to worry about self. Take time to do that. Because there are so many lessons that need to be learned. This is someone who is used to manipulating and controlling situations. And this is why many of you are over it. Over the games that they play. The trust is broken. And someone's going to have to deal with the balance of karma. Because it's going to hit hard. Yeah. No bueno. It's a no. For many of you, you wouldn't accept this person in this energy of wearing this mask. This energy is intentionally being blocked by the universe because you deserve so much more. For many of you, it seems things you didn't understand or have clarity to, it's all coming to light. It's all starting to make more sense after the dust is settled, or there's some type of distance created. Yet I sense even without confirmation or explanation, there's something deep down that tells you 313. You know all you need to know. In fact, I sense you won't conform or give in, and this is what's causing the frustration. Someone's just not getting what they thought they deserved. You to just make things easier for them to come back. Someone's gonna have to do the work. If it isn't making something right with you, it's gonna have to be making it right with themselves, because it will be the biggest loss they'll ever have to take. I feel the fact that you won't conform or give in has put your intuition and intention on next level, making relationships or deep bonds somewhat stronger or impossible to truly give into, or even find someone is on your level, someone who truly understands your heart. causing the failure of most interactions or connections to almost seem personal. Because you try so hard. You do things with intention. You try and you actually have the best intentions at heart. It's almost hard not to take it personal. It's really hard not to take it to heart. Yet I sense many of you have found a way not to allow what you don't know or understand to get the best of you. Finding a way to push through regardless. Yeah. Especially when it gets toxic. Because when it gets toxic, you know they're going to find a way for you to take the blame. Projecting energy. It's a scam. Yeah. It's all a scam when it comes to this person trying to pretend that they have changed or learned from their toxic ways. It's just not the truth. Someone doesn't want to admit that the trust being broken or manipulating the trust only cause pain and regret. Things are at a distance. Someone feels like they've already burned their bridge with you. Here with this fire energy, someone feels like they won't get that heart to heart. Wow. But it's no games when it comes to fake friends. Wow. You're not wanting to deal with it. Wow. I feel like many of you have found a way to heal, find your way through this. Wow. Finding a way for things left unsaid or undone to bring a sense of peace instead of regret or even leaving you in pieces. Yet it doesn't mean those who lost you won't jump at the chance to have you back. It's just the lies that you refuse to deal with. There's no grounding energy in it. This earth energy could also represent Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Please take it how it resonates. And when it comes to fire energy, this is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Wow. You expect change, action. Even with an apology, someone's going to have to do more to get more. Because a love message would only be a distraction. There's a real decision to be made, especially when it comes to a confession. For some of you, this is someone who's going to have to come face to face with you to get it right. Because something's being flagged when it comes to communication, especially over the phone. Many of you will see right through it. You see the signs. And I do see many of you choosing self. Because while they're on some type of vacation or trying to relax in this mess, there's so many lessons to be learned. Because they will be dealing with their karma. Because through karma, it will only be one space. It will be the only space to create balance. Someone's going to have to go through it to get through it. And I don't think they're ready for it. This is what they didn't expect. Last sec, you guys. This is what they didn't expect. For you to choose self. You're coming out as a free spirit. Yeah. Someone who chose this solo path. For many of you, you're fine with or without this energy. It's electric. But I feel once it started to burn, it was over for you. Because they missed you the first time doesn't mean you're going to give them another chance to hit you, to come towards you, bring this negativity your way. Yeah, they think about talking to you all the time. As I said before, they're trying to come up with a way to make it make sense. They know what they've done, what they said or didn't do makes no sense at all. Someone just didn't put in the effort. They're wanting to think this is some type of a enigma, like something was just supposed to be temporary and you'll snap out of it. But surprise, surprise, I don't think they are going to get anything close to that. Wow. There's a surprise in store when it comes to this energy in some type of electric conversation. I feel many of you have chosen this solo path because it's a peaceful path. As I said before, with or without this energy, you're good. You're fine. Yeah. Forward steps being taken as you purifies, trying to heal, recover what you feel you have lost, and this is universal. Someone wants to give you a tempting offer, but eyes will be awakened when it comes to a message, communication that could be arriving. This energy is really dragging their feet when it comes to communicating with you, but they're also starting to realize you won't be the one to fix this, as you always do. So they're composing their thoughts, they're composing their energy, but something about this message is a wake-up call. Someone's eyes are about to be open. This is why someone's going to have to go through it to get through it. This energy feels like this may spark something with you, or they need to maybe throw something your way to get you to react, but whatever the case, you're moving forward, mastering a sense of self. Mastering your own emotions so this energy doesn't have a way to affect you. You're honoring self, body, when it comes to someone who is in disguise at all times. But the fact that they have yet to really open up and expose their truth, this is why someone will never be able to forget what you were to them. This is why someone won't be able to forget you as they lose themselves, because you're dealing with a runner. Someone who is used to running away from their problems. Codependent patterns here for someone who is suffering in silence, trying to cope with the fact that you are in a space where you just might move on, which is maybe the worst thing they feel they're going to have to deal with. Someone's just in a space where they didn't realize your intuition or the fact that you were true self was such a big thing. Someone thought that they would win this battle. But by the time they realized they were losing, things had already fallen apart. Someone's silently contemplating. In contemplation about their careless actions. Material ways, not wanting to give up those ways. This is why they've come out with some type of pattern of codependency. Thought, 313. Thinking you'll fix their mess, fix this mess, because they can't accept their journey. Or the fact that you just might be on another path with yours. I feel like even though your intuition is meant to work in your favor, those who play games or try to play in your face are going through a situation of circumstances that will only humble them in the end. Wow. Someone is wishing you were not so tapped in or even capable of seeing beyond the illusion, which may be why so many make these mistakes with you. Make the mistake of underestimating or not understanding you on a deeper level, not understanding your worth, only because they have yet to level up emotionally, mentally, spiritually, leaving you to fill in the blank, fill in the hole, or even feel you're left to carry the load, carry the weight of what others refuse to carry or even ignore. It's the fact that you no longer need hardcore proof to validate what your mind and heart already knows makes others uncomfortable. Because if something feels off about a person, place, or thing, it probably is off. And you're not sticking around to sort it out. As your time and energy is just too valuable. And you don't have the time and the energy to help those who don't choose to help themselves. I feel many of you are done dealing with how others feel about your choices. Or even think about you in any way, because the more you tap into self, the more untouchable you will become to those who just don't deserve you. Because someone definitely came so close, now things are so far. Because they expected you to chase. Now this unconventional soul is struggling alone, questioning everything, yet still not questioning self and intentions, because they're not wanting to deal with what is unfamiliar. Trying to deal with foreign emotions, foreign ideas. I feel someone's just gotten uncomfortable because it's become a heavy regret. Now this energy is missing you silently, dealing with their temptations, their own sins, wanting to circle back to you. Now someone's in a space of knowing that nothing compares, but they still allow time to slip away. But in so many ways, someone just might be stuck in a loop and in the final steps of some very uncomfortable karma. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading and it's gained some food for thought. If so, let me know by commenting down below or liking this video. Hope to see you again, guys. Bye.